So, folks, in the end, there was really nothing. And it is sad, really sad, and makes me think. Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Giuseppe and this is Maruzza. A few days ago, after a slightly rough but truly exhilarating sail, we arrived in Skyros, the southernmost of the northern Sporades. The anchorages here are simply stunning, and I'll be spending a few days looking around and doing some fishing. So I'm staying basically at anchor now. When I'm sailing, I much prefer being at anchor than staying in ports. In port, I can stay a couple of days, then I start feeling trapped, really. And then I need to go back at sea or move to a bay. Of course, there is always something to do on a boat, and if there isn't, you just find something to fix. Right, and since we are here to fish, I'm sharpening the tip of my spear really well. I'm shaping it into 4 sharp edges, which I think will work better than a conical point. There we go, perfect for long shots. So, let's not waste any time and go test it out. First of all, you need to find a good spot, because where there are no fish, you won't catch anything. Sounds obvious, but I have met people who complain about catching nothing simply because they go to the wrong places. Around my anchorage, though, there are some shallows and a little island that might have some depth around it. That's where I'll try to catch something. The anchorage is a bit precarious, so I'll have to check that the anchor is holding well, and maybe adjust it a bit. But now let's think about a fishing strategy. Right now the wind is clearly coming from the bow, from that direction, so I can guess the current is doing the same. Fish should, in theory, be before the narrow passage, where the current rises towards the surface and hits the rocks. That's where the plankton gathers and where the small fish come, and then the predators follow. On this side, down current from that rock over there shouldn't be much. Up current there should be bait fish, so I go straight up current. The anchor is well set. Perfect. That means I can leave Maruzza and focus on dinner. I swim against the current to reach the shallow area. Spots like these often have mullet and sea bass. I do a few ambush dives, but see nothing. A decent sea bream comes to take a look, but doesn't seem interested in getting caught.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Nothing. Today I'm definitely not Clint. I keep doing ambush dives one after the other, but only a small group of mullet shows up. I am already imagining them in the pan. And of course, I missed the shot. A real professional misser. 2 hours of symptomatic depression go by. Enough, it's not my day. I head back to the boat. At least I got 1 mullet, which I clean in the water. Much better than dirtying the cockpit with guts, scales, and stinky courses. Well, sometimes that's just the way it goes, and not always the fisherman's fault. So, folks, in the end, there was really nothing. The depth was shallow, just a few meters, lots of seagrass. The current was strong, so I expected to see big schools of mullets, but instead there were only damselfish and saddled bream. I caught 1 mullet though, and it will be good with potatoes. Still, I really don't know what to think. Is the sea dying, or has this place always been like this? I don't know, it is unsettling not to see a fish though. Not catching them is one thing, that could be my skill, but not seeing them at all is sad. Anyway, we have the mullet, so happy mullet to everyone. The evening is gorgeous, but it can't make me forget the strong feeling I've had for years now. The sea is changing. too fast and for the worst. The next day, I completely change spot and go to the other side of Skiros. Okay, I'm not giving up, even if yesterday it was a bit of a disaster. The spot looked great, but no fish. I'm heading to another point that might be better, but maybe it is too deep for me. I can dive down to about 22 meters, and here it could be much deeper. I don't have a depth sounder, so I just go by instinct. Still, one thing is clear. These spots look perfect. I mean, good current, decent depth, rocky slopes. Yet, nothing. You don't just fail to catch fish, you don't even see them. That's both shocking and sad. There are places in the Med with the very same environment, full of fish of every kind, a billion fish, and that's the normal situation. But here, there is absolutely nothing. It is sad, really sad, and it makes you think. Anyway, I'm heading to the point now, and let's see what I find. The water is crystal clear and full of damselfish. The spot looks perfect. It is the outermost tip of the island. There is even a lighthouse. It couldn't be better. There is current, there is depth, and there is also a step between 10, 15, 18 meters. Fish could be there. If there is nothing, then that's worrying. It would mean something is wrong, really, with the local ecosystem.
Hey bro, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and let's get high on likes!
As soon as I am in the water, I move to where the rocks drop into the blue. Groupers usually hang around these edges, but from the surface I can't see a thing. This dive is basically a gamble. As soon as I am negative, I let myself fall toward the bottom. It is like flying, a silence full of anticipation, every sense sharpened. And there she is, the grouper. But right behind her, there is a slightly bigger one that seems to be waiting just for me. The shot is long, but the razor-sharp tip and the downward angle do their job. The problem now will be finding a boat at anchor where I am heading, someone to share this fish with, because it is a way too big just for me. Okay, in the end, the spot was good, and this grouper was right there waiting just for me. Yeah, it was a beautiful catch, clean, on a decent, perfect shot, but honestly, I must say, I always feel a bit sorry when I take a grouper, especially when they are so calm. I much prefer hunting dentex. It is a way more challenging, both mentally and technically. In the end, I did find a boat to share the grouper with. But that's another story. I'm here. And as always, if we don't see each other on this channel, we'll meet somewhere on the hook.